Welcome to the UNC Summer Jazz Workshop. I'm Dr. Stephen Anderson, and I'm the director of the program. This was to be our 10-year anniversary, and we were very excited about that. Admittedly, it's a little strange to run a workshop, which is usually communal, and we're all working together and jamming out together in the jam sessions and in the combos. Um, but this year, maybe we could remember the example of Jacob Collier, who's a young musician from London who, from the time that he was very young, practiced several instruments in his room, and he spent hours and hours and hours practicing these instruments until the point where he felt that he was prepared. And then he recorded these videos that are these multi-screen videos with him playing all the instruments, and they are his arrangements. Well, these videos soon became viral, and soon enough, musicians like Herbie Hancock and Pat Metheny are supporting this young musician, and soon enough he's out touring internationally. But the example of practicing in one's room and taking time to really learn the craft is a great example for us during this time of the pandemic. In fact, the concept of the woodshed, most of you probably have heard that term, but for those who maybe haven't, let me explain. The woodshed was like this. Little Johnny, who's maybe age 12, wants to learn an instrument, and mommy and daddy buy an instrument and put that trombone or the trumpet or the alto saxophone in his hand. And he starts to practice, and everyone's excited. But wait a minute. At first, his sound isn't very good. So what do? So they say, Johnny, you gotta go practice out in the woodshed behind the house, because they didn't want him in the house practicing while he was getting his sound together. And then by and by, as he gets his sound together, he is invited back in the house and able to practice there. But he had to get in the woodshed first. That's a good example for each of us. Each of us needs time to be in the woodshed. But truthfully, I have to confess that I am sad that we cannot meet all together and that we cannot have jam sessions and so forth together. Here's some things that I've been thinking about that I will miss. For one, no t-shirts this year. With the pandemic, we're simply not able to mail them out to everybody. Secondly, I'm gonna miss working with my colleagues. Becca Clemens, the associate director of the workshop, she's just a really great hang. Ryan Raven has been with us from the beginning, and also Jonathan Minnick, who joined us a few years after that, and he's been really great. I'm gonna miss my faculty colleagues. They're great friends of mine. Some of them come in from other parts of the state, and it's always just fun for us to get together and to play together. I'm going to miss playing with our guest artist that I was so excited to bring. Ramon Vasquez is a first call bassist from Puerto Rico. You'll see him out playing with some of the very big names from the Caribbean, like Chucho Valdez and other people like that. And Jose Aponte is also from Puerto Rico. He's my colleague Juan Alamo's close friend. Both of them are. And I've had the opportunity to play with both of them abroad in Juan Alamo's group Marim Jazzia. But Jose Aponte is faculty at the University of North Texas. He's drum set faculty and percussion faculty, and teaches different world music ensembles there. I was very much looking forward to that. But you'll get to see master classes with them, and I'm very excited about the instruction that they're preparing. They've been telling us a little bit about that. So I do hope you will check that out. Another thing that I was really looking forward to is that these were going to be the final concerts of my colleague Jim Ketch as a faculty member here in jazz studies at UNC. Jim has led the program for 43 years. He's quite a legend in the area, and just a great guy. And I was looking forward to having him program a concert and just being a supportive colleague on that concert. So we will miss that. I was looking forward most of all to jamming with the students. There's nothing like that final concert. You got all the food in the lobby and the cake, and all the parents are there. The kids have practiced all week, and it's just a great hang. So we won't get that. And I'll miss my fusion combo too. They always rock the house, so they're always a lot of fun to work with. Having said that, I'm very excited about the video recordings that I've been making. And I want to take some time now and show you the website so that you can kind of peruse through there. And hopefully that will be a good experience for you to practice along with the videos. And let's go there now. Okay, I want to point out a few things about the web pages that I've been creating. First of all, I'd like to thank two of my colleagues who've been very helpful with the process. Catherine Zachary and Jay Harper both have been very helpful in making resources available to us and bouncing ideas off them to make things happen. This is the web page for the Journalism Jazz History section, though all students will have the links and passwords to each page, and I'm hoping that all of you will check out the different classes. I'll come back to this one in a moment here. Let's first look at the performer resources. I'm sending out, I'll be soon sending out this video of like a theory tutorial that I would like all students to watch. I understand that the students in the journalism section may not read music or have any musical background, and this will get fairly technical, but I hope that it's illustrated in a way that will help you to at least have a general sense of how the chord symbols work and how musicians think when they're improvising. So I will ask that all students take some time and watch that video. There are various resources and handouts that can be downloaded. There are different classes in the morning for the performers. There's 3 classes that are available at 9:30 a.m. I encourage all students to download all of the handouts. Let's take a second and let me show you that here. So, for example, this is the basics in jazz piano. The students in the journalism class will watch this during the next hour at, let's see, at 11 a.m. During their 11 o'clock hour. Whereas those who, like, normally we offer this course for drummers and we taught them basic piano, but really it's great for anyone to learn this. And I do highly encourage all horn players, singers, whatever you do, to check this out and to learn some piano. All great musicians learn a little bit of piano so that they can get a sense of the harmony. So you can download the handouts here. Now these are global for the whole workshop, so go ahead and download the handouts, and I've created a Dropbox folder, and you can go in here and you can find my voicings, comping, harmony packet, and it shows how to voice chords, various aspects of voicing. And then you can go over here and click that button, and then you could choose to download it on your machine, or you could just view it from here. But I would encourage everyone to download it so they'll have it. And there's various improvisational handouts. There's things that we'll use in the advanced theory class and the other theory class as well. So I encourage you to check that out. Let's go back here. I've created homemade backing tracks. I didn't want to use Jamie Aebersold's backing tracks or someone else's because they're copywritten and I'm making them available to you. So I've recorded with my resources at home during the pandemic. I've recorded backing tracks at different tempos. For example, I've done Blue Bossa at 120, 140, and 160. Let me show you this. Melody would have just started right there. Okay, and again, you can go here, click that button, you can download it. So I encourage you before the workshop begins to go ahead and download all these tracks. Now this is for the beginning theory class, and you will nominate yourself for these classes, and you can choose to attend the ones you would like to attend. That stated, those who are doing it for college credit need to be in the advanced class for the performers. And there's also charts for each of these. So if you are an alto saxophonist or a bari saxophonist, you'll click here and you'll see your part that's transposed for your range and for your instrument. It's called E flat. I've given piano voicings to all players. So these are the piano voicings, and that's to encourage you to learn some piano and to get those down. All musicians should learn to play a little bit of piano. If you're a tenor saxophonist or a B-flat trumpet player, you'll click this part and you'll have access to the same thing. And then backing tracks. So there's the backing tracks for the beginner class. So at the 9:30 hour, again, there's 3 options for performers. You could take the basics in jazz piano. And again, you don't have to do these during these times. These are all pre-recorded. the beginning theory and the beginning or the basics in jazz piano. That's pre-recorded. So you can do that whenever you'd like. And then here for the advanced theory, I will be teaching this one partially live over Zoom. I'll do the theory portion live over Zoom, and then each day there's a skills class that we'll do. Some of these videos these are my notes to myself here. I'm still uploading some videos for this. So you'll click on the link and that'll take you to the live Zoom where I will provide some instruction, and then you can watch the video. Each day you'll learn a new tune, and they're different than the beginning class. So the same way, you'll click here and you'll find your parts, Perdido, and your backing tracks there. Okay? All right. So, and let me show you just a little bit of this. Let's try this one. Now you can watch these on YouTube and do the full screen. Okay, everyone, let's work on our arpeggios from each inversion point on the... And so, alto saxophonist and bari saxophonist, you'll follow along here. And because we're remote learning, I've gone ahead and written these all out. Sometimes I usually just write the notes here on the board, and the students will play along, and I ask them to think of the pitch numbers and figure it out. But I feel like this is important to provide clear instructions since we're doing remote learning and I'm not there with you. Tenor players and trumpet players will read this line. Trombonist and bassist will read this line, and everyone else will read this. Pianist, you're going to need to take this up the octave so it doesn't conflict with your left-hand voicings. That's your left-hand voicings. Okay? And there's a video for each day in the theory class. So you just follow the schedule. At this time, you'll pick which one. Again, those who are doing college credit and they're performers will need to be in this class with me. Okay? Then at the 11 o'clock hour, you have your choice of doing the beginning improv or the advanced improv. Again, this one I'll give a little live Zoom greeting, but there's also video instruction so that the videos are for clarity in terms of internet signal. The Zoom just doesn't work very well. It's fine for speaking, but it does not do well for music. We can't play together. Whereas if with the video, each of you will be able to practice along with that well in time. I do encourage you to have your laptops hooked up to some speakers if possible so that you can hear the play-alongs, and basically we just practice together. I'll guide you through a practice routine and take you through various bebop drills and so forth. Okay, so there's the 11 o'clock hour. You get a little lunch break. Then at 1:30, from 1:30 to 2:45 p.m. each day, both the journalism students and the performers will join in, and there'll be lessons. And so you just find your instrument. If you're clarinetist, follow this schedule. Okay, if you're trumpet player, follow this one. There's the links. And make sure you see all this information before. I think it would be a good idea to do this before the day begins. In fact, a couple days ahead of time, I'm going to send this out. So please check that out. And some of this, again, I'm still populating as the links come into me from my colleagues. Okay, so those will be live classes, and you'll have live interaction with these teachers. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Then I'm still waiting on a couple of the videos for the master classes, but Jose Aponte will do the Monday master class. It'll be both a portion pre-recorded and a portion live where you can ask him questions and talk to him after the video. That'll be from 3 o'clock to 4:15. Journalism students will join in for this as well. And then Ramon Vasquez will give a class. And a lot of this will be about Caribbean music, but they'll touch on other things as well. This is my good friend and colleague Juan Alamo, who's giving a master class on clave and various aspects of rhythm in Caribbean rhythms. Okay? For the evening concerts, I put 7 p.m. in quotes because really you could watch it at any time. The idea is this, that first of all, they're laid out historically day by day. So we start with early jazz or even living artists, like right here, the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. This is a really great concert. I highly recommend it, as well as those that are historical. But we start with important videos of, or important recordings of early players from early jazz on Monday. Tuesday, we'll move into the swing era and hear different artists from the swing era. Wednesday, there's different artists from like a little bit after swing, bebop, and even into hard bop. Now, there is some overlap from decade to decade, and we get into cool jazz. Here, there's different things in the 60s jazz. There's various artists during that time. And then finally on Friday, we get into more modern artists. You get Miles Davis when he turned to fusion, and a couple other fusion artists, and then This Way. And this list could go on and on and on, but I had to cut it off at a certain point. So I'll let the journalism jazz history instructors say how many tracks they would like you to watch. Some of these are just like 2.5-minute videos. Others are longer that are full blown out concerts. So obviously you're not going to watch a full blown out concert in all these. For those, I just watch an extract of the full blown out concert for the day by day listening. But then those of you who are interested, you could watch all of that. It's all available to you. Okay. I'm about to post some additional classes that don't coincide with the daily schedule. Again, all of this will be up on the website throughout the summer. I'll take it down probably late August. So you could practice along with it, and because these are concepts that you're not going to master in 5 days. The idea with the workshop is it's a saturation of knowledge. So we give you all this information, but then you can take it and keep working on it throughout the summer. Okay, both the journalism and the performer section have playlists. What I've done is, here they are. I've opened them up here. I've given the historical playlist from my jazz history class that I teach every fall. There's several tracks on each of these, and I just encourage you to check that out. This is not required for anything. It's just additional. But there's some good stuff here. Like this first unit is like pre-jazz and things that fed into jazz. Like take a quick listen here. You can listen and kind of observe some West African rhythms that has fed into all American music, that has influenced that. Some other West African examples. Here is some examples of early black church. I love this piece right here. Throw me anywhere, Lord, in that old field. Throw me anywhere, Lord, in that old field. I love teaching jazz history, and I wish I had time to explain this one. This is really a profound piece of music right there. Then you get some newer music from the black church, Clara Ward. And then blues. A lot of people don't realize that the military bands also influenced early jazz, and the forms that were in those influenced early jazz. Anyway, so various things. Then you get into like some Dixieland jazz and Louis Armstrong. Everybody loves Louis Armstrong, and various things. The second unit is more swing era stuff. The third unit, you get into a lot of Miles Davis, some cool jazz, some hard bop, various great artists, Blue Note artists, and so forth. And then finally, the last Spotify playlist is all modern artists. And I love this stuff. And so you can just watch as many videos as you would like and have time to watch. So that's not part of the regular day, but it's available to you. My faculty colleagues are still in the process of sending me tracks that they have recorded, and these are free downloads. So you just click on them. If you want to get Jim Ketch's Savannah Swingin', you can click on that, and there'll be a place. And these are Dropbox folders, so you can just download the track there. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the web page. So just make sure that you follow the schedule along. And again, you have it available to you all summer for those who want to continue practicing. Again, I request that you please watch this video right here, the opening chord symbol theory overview. I'd like all students to check that out so that I don't have to cover that on day one in theory, and we all have a basic core understanding of how the chord symbols work. And I hope you don't feel overwhelmed with the amount of information that is here. It's not intended that you will master everything in a week, but again, it's a saturation of knowledge that you can take and take these principles and practice the same, learn new tunes, but using the same principles and practice it really for the rest of your life. Certainly for a period of a few years. Okay, let me now turn to the journalism section. And students in the journalism jazz history section, you'll first start with Professor Dan Davis. His course will be a mixture of live Zoom, so you want to make sure you're on time to class. And he'll give various presentations. He's also provided these recordings, and some of them are videos that he would like you to watch. And he'll instruct you on that. So that's at the 9:30 hour. Again, at the 11 a.m. hour, you're going to watch that same Basics in Jazz Piano that the performers, or that the drummers or anyone who would like to take that instruction. You'll do that at the 11 a.m. hour. And it's all pre-recorded videos. I encourage you to download the handouts and the backing tracks. And I understand that a number of you won't have pianos at home. When we offer this class live in person, we take you into the keyboard lab and provide instruction there. So it's all available to you. And then students can come back during the day and practice in there if they'd like. There's no performance exam or anything. It's just all for your edification and enjoyment and understanding. Okay? Lunch break. Then at 1:30, you'll get to study with this great colleague, Professor Andy Betchel, who's in the School of Journalism. He's been teaching for us, I can't remember how many years now, but he's done a great job, and the students always enjoy him. I will be providing that Zoom link here pretty soon, and that will be taught live. And we're hoping to put the recorded videos of the classes on here so that all students can have access to that information. And the primary workload for students in the journalism class will be to write blogs about the evening concerts. So Professor Betchel will instruct you on that and what he would like you to do. At the 3 o'clock hour, you will also observe the lessons and just kind of get a sense of how the different instruments work and how the different teachers teach about their instruments. Normally when we're working live in person, you'll interview the faculty and guest artists, and you can even interview other students, performers, and ask them about what they do, and you can use that as a resource when you're writing your nightly blogs. I will let Professor Betchel instruct you on how that will take place, but here is a designated time when you can do that. Get a dinner break, and then you have access to the same evening concerts. This is the same exact list here on your page. Okay? You also have the same playlist and the same downloads. I'm very much looking forward to the week, and I can't wait to see you all. All right, take care.